What we're going to do here is talk about the light types that we have available to us. So I'm going to go ahead and move over to the light icon we see here. This gives us the ability to add a wide variety of lights. Now, when you start modeling in Cinema 4D, you'll notice that you have a light source inside your scene already just to help you to place your objects. It's not really recommended that you use this for your renders. So let's go ahead and start off with the most basic light. All right, this is like a regular old light bulb. I'll go ahead and take this out, and you see that the name of this light is simply light. But think of this as an omni light. All right, it projects light, and I'll bring it to the fore here, in all directions from the center point. So I'll go ahead and zoom in, and you can see that. Imagine that the light source is actually this little dot here, and these are the little rays of light projecting outwards. This is really nice when you want to have a soft light, like a candle light. And the cool thing is, just by putting this in our scene, we can already start to see how it affects our objects, right? We get this nice preview. Now go ahead and do a quick render here. And you see that we have this light right here, all right? Just barely a little bit of a rim light. I'll put it here and right there, and let's see what it looks like now. So as you can see, this gives us a very realistic view as to what we're going to get when we render. To find out more about the light, all we have to do is click on it inside of our Objects Manager. And if we go to General here, you look under the type of light, it is an Omni light, as I mentioned before. Now, we can turn on the shadows. As I said before, the shadows are off by default. So let me go ahead and just go to where it says None, and I'll put the shadows on. I'll go ahead and choose a hard shadow, a ray trace shadow, and we'll do another quick render. So now we have the shadows projecting. If I move the light once again, it will change how it looks. And I can also choose a softer shadow based on an image map called a shadow map. A little fuzziness right there. We can change our light from the actual general tab itself to the other types of lights. But for now, we're going to go ahead and just go to our menu up here. So let's talk about the other type of light we have. First of all, I'll go ahead and just take this light and delete it for now. We also have a target light. Now this light is really cool because we can set it to focus on a particular object so that when that object moves, the light moves too. So I'm going to quickly create a new scene so we can see that. I'll create a cube. He will be our test subject. I will go ahead and put in a target light. And if you look at the target light, I'll go ahead and choose its properties here. If you look down here, it says target, all right? What we can do is drag in a target right where it says target object. So this will be the cube. I'll click and drag, and I'm going to put him right in this box. And boom, the light will now focus in on the cube. So if I take the cube and I move the cube around, the light is going to stay on him. So as you can see here, it stays locked on. Very, very cool. Especially if you have a character that's running, being chased, and you want to have a light stay on that character the whole time. Let me go back to my other scene real fast. All right, so let me go ahead and just move the scene over a little bit. And we will drag in a spotlight. A spotlight works kind of like the lights you'll find on a Broadway production, where we have a light source going through a cone. And this cone projects a nice soft shadow, right, called a penumbra. And it gives us a very nice soft shadow. And we get a preview once again as to what we're going to get when we render. So I'll go ahead and render it. And we have this nice soft light. What I'll do this time is on this light, I'll put on a nice soft shadow. And now we have shadows coming from the light. Very nice and soft and gentle. Like all the lights, we have information that we can change about it, such as the color of that light. For example, I can make it, let's say, a bright green. Go ahead and render it. Now we have a nice green light. We can change the intensity of our lights. We can dial it down. Once again, we can change the type of light it is from this menu. A spotlight is the light source that I typically use most often, and my second most used light would be the Omni light. All right, so it depends on what I'm trying to do. If I'm trying to focus on something, I'll use the spotlight. And when I'm trying to get nice soft lights in the background or nice rim lights, I'll typically use a regular Omni light. All right, so in the next lesson, we'll go ahead and talk about the other lights in our list here.